So these are some notes from class over photosynthesis. We started talking about the structure and function of things in biology, mostly plants and photosynthesis. So we used an example of a pen or a stapler to say that the structure, the way it looks, relates to its function. So that particular pen has a cap that you can remove to protect it from getting ink on things. It's got a little black grippy part. It's got a big tube in the middle filled with ink so that you can use it a long time. So there's a lot of characteristics that help it good at, being a writing utensil. But we're trying to learn about plants, so we looked at plants in terms of their structure and their function and how those two relate. And we talked specifically about how roots are fibrous and long and skinny, and they spread out so that they can make a lot of contact with the soil and therefore absorb a lot of water and nutrients for the plant. So their structure really relates to their function. And so we also talked about how stems have hollow cells that allow water and nutrients to move up and down for transport, and that leaves do the absorbing of light. And so they're flat and they're thin and they're like little solar panels. They also have a lot of chloroplasts which do the photosynthesis, so that makes them better at doing the photosynthesis. We specifically looked at the bottom of a leaf, and this is a cast from a plant outside, and you can see lots of stomates or stomata, and they are surrounded by guard cells that can change shape and open or close. So again, the structure of those cells relates to their function of being able to open and close in response to needing carbon dioxide and getting rid of oxygen or not. So there's a little picture of them, the stomates being open or closed under different conditions. This is a really nice overview slide where you start with water and carbon dioxide, and you end up with, you have 6 molecules over here of water and 6 molecules of carbon dioxide. And then you end up with one really large molecule called glucose that is storing chemical energy, and you end up with 6 molecules of oxygen. So you start with 12 and you end up with 7 because one of them is really large and stores a lot of energy. So that light energy is converted into chemical energy, and this happens in the chloroplasts and also gives off oxygen. So we looked at chloroplasts. They're the green cell part in plants that actually does photosynthesis. So this is a really zoomed in picture of a plant cell that has many chloroplasts. And we talked about some of the cell parts. The emphasis was on the chloroplast because it does the photosynthesis, but plant cells also have a cell wall, which is pretty unique to plants. All cells have a cell membrane that allows things to enter and leave the cell. We did not see a nucleus, but most cells have a nucleus, and that contains the DNA. And then the space that is really nothing is filled with cytoplasm, which is mostly water and enzymes. And that's, most cells have lots of cytoplasm too. The last little bit here talks about chlorophyll. It's this pigment that absorbs some light that's used for photosynthesis and reflects others. So it absorbs a lot of this sort of blue, purple range and also some orange wavelengths. And it reflects a lot of the green wavelengths, and that's why plants look some variation of green. So to recap, plants have structures like leaves, and stems, and roots that maximize photosynthesis in plants by absorbing light, absorbing and transporting water, and exchanging gases. These plant cells inside of plants actually do the photosynthesis. They have a cell wall, cell membrane, nucleus, cytoplasm, but the chloroplasts are the cell part, organelle, that actually does photosynthesis. Chlorophyll is the pigment inside of chloroplasts that give chloroplasts their green color, but also absorb the light energy from the sun and transform that into usable cell energy in terms of photosynthesis. So hopefully this has helped you clarify some of the big ideas about photosynthesis. Thank you.